welcome to the City of Alexandria, Kentucky Planning and Zoning meeting this March 19th, 2019. If you would please join us in a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Don't know why I can't get used to the fact that it's March. Roll call.
It's almost over.
And I haven't got used to it being here yet.
Sonny Marcus.
Here.
Ron Johnson.
Here.
Tom Wheeler, absent. Dave Hart.
Here.
Nick Reitman is present. Randy Neas.
Here.
Stephen Schinkel.
Here.
Also present is Carol Halstetter, the zoning administrator, and Stephanie Tarter, the recording secretary. And that is your roll, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next thing on the agenda is the minutes from our last meeting, March the 5th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes of March 5th as presented. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Chair abstains. Thank you very much. And visitors and guests, are there any visitors and guests in the audience that want to address the commission on anything not on tonight's agenda? Hearing a resounding no thank you very much. We go into new business. Ms. Hofstetter, you gave us a piece of information on some of our new business, actually a part of the zoning and ordinance rehab, but nonetheless, thank you for the information.
You're welcome.
I don't see roosters in here anywhere. Did you run into?
No, I think the rooster thing's
Anything?
pretty well.
That's pretty well taken care of?
That's just some different things from different cities I thought you might find interesting since we were
Okay,
just
darn
talking
it.
about last
I
week.
was hoping you'd find more on roosters.
No, most places don't allow roosters in city limits because of the whole
True.
noise issue.
True. Now, that's one thing right there on the first page that you've highlighted. We have a lot of instances where we have horses in town in residential zones, correct?
Quite a few.
And cattle, I would think.
I don't have any cattle that come to mind right away, but there may be
But horses, definitely.
definitely horses, goats, sheep.
Goats, sheep, horses.
I don't know of any pot-bellied pigs anymore. I knew of two not too long ago.
I know of a couple people that have them as pets, so.
For each 1,000 pound of livestock, it means 1 acre of land.
What they say.
That makes sense. If you're growing steers for your own beef, you would want at least an acre of ground for an animal, yeah. I think it's what we used to go by.
Or you just keep them inside and grain feed.
Yeah, that's good too. We did that for 30 days at the end.
They taste better that way.
Take the grain and mix it with molasses, grind it up. Stick them in a barn and just let them go at it.
You give them a beer a day too?
On before the storm.
Now, we didn't. I bet that would work.
Keep them happy.
Anything here that you want to discuss, Carol?
No, just giving you some other cities to look at.
Do we have the regulations such as Highland Heights on outside storage? Regular salvage and junk yards shall be adequately enclosed with a solid fence. Do we require that?
So what direction do we want to go with horses, donkeys, sheep? What are we looking to do?
I would think that in the residential areas, just as that suggests, we want to disallow them.
So if they currently have some now, we're gonna, you say no?
You can't make them get rid of them.
It's more of a non-conforming use.
That I see with that is, I mean, Robert pointed out in his email that you can't classify a pet as livestock if it's a pet. So who's going to go in and say, that pig's not your pet, it's livestock? You know, a lot of people, I know a couple of people that have the miniature goats that's pets for their kids.
The Herefords that we had that ended up as hamburgers,
Well, that's.
the kids
You
named
can't really couple.
and thought they were
it.
pets, yeah.
That's going to be.
But they did not go around on a leash.
That'll be one part that's a little tricky.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless you specify if it's a pet, it has to be kept enclosed. I don't know, I'm kind of guessing here. I don't know exactly what you want, so.
If we put it on the books now, it can deter future use.
future, yeah.
Future, yeah.
Exactly.
Or just make it towards a minimum of 3 acres before they have it and regulate how far back from the property line it has to be, like one of these did. I don't remember which one it was.
So currently, a goat and a horse is in the same category.
Correct.
So theoretically, in my subdivision where they have goats, they could actually have horses.
If they have that, well, yeah, I guess they could. We don't have,
mean,
it says they can't.
That's a little ridiculous. Something's wrong there. Yeah,
Then you have to use
Yeah.
You're right.
your common sense.
But, I mean, in our ordinance, it says, under the agricultural definitions in the front, you know, it specifies you have to have an agricultural zone, which is 5 acres, to have livestock or horses. So,
And wouldn't they have to have the property, like here, and here it says 1,000?
We never went by that. We just went by the agricultural zone has to have 5 acres.
So,
We never
but
really,
as the way it sits now, if you called your horse was your pet,
most horses are pets. I mean, really,
yeah.
people don't get them just.
So it was
to
Dave's
run up-
cattle until he
Yeah.
ate them.
Well, it was Andy's pet, yeah.
So it sounds like we just need something other than nothing. At least we
Yeah,
have
Oh, yeah.
some sort of regulation compared to what we have now.
Because if it all falls underneath the same thing, then theoretically, I could get a donkey in my subdivision or a horse.
You could.
Yep.
This guy down the road from you had a donkey. It was a pet.
Is it in a
Name was
subdivision?
Peaches.
Is it in a subdivision?
No,
No.
the donkey's name was Peaches. It was a pet. The kids played with it.
They don't get turned into hamburger meat,
Donkeys don't.
donkey meat, no donkey meat. They live a long time.
Well, donkeys are good guard dogs. I mean, they'll keep any other critter away from your farm,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
but, you know, it's.
They're a good watchdog. Or as you say, guard dog.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me a donkey.
I'm getting one.
I'm not getting a donkey.
I'm gonna get a donkey.
No, you're not.
I'll get one with you. I need your truck.
Not against, it's against code.
Not now.
It will be.
We're going tomorrow.
So currently, we have a number on
Chickens.
chickens, but we don't have a number on pets
No.
of goats or sheep in residential. Is that number a good thing to have? So right now, we got a number of 10 of chickens, 12 or whatever, what is it, 10?
10.
10?
In case you missed the news this afternoon, there was a house that they investigated that they had, I think it was 36 live cats and over 100 on the premises. And a lot of them were in the freezer.
Oh, my gosh.
So yeah, a number is not a bad thing to have.
I was thinking with dogs also.
But I mean, are you gonna?
People get carried
who's gonna-
away.
How are you gonna monitor that, though?
That's the
Neighbors
tough part.
monitor it.
Yeah, you get a call, you have to investigate it.
I like Cold Springs.
If you don't get a call, then you
Cold Springs.
let them go. But yeah, you've seen stories where somebody might have 10 dogs in a one-bedroom house or something, you know. and
It's true.
I don't have anything against dogs, but it's taking care of them the right way, you know. Most times when they've got that many, they don't take
Even
care of
this
them.
almost needs like a, dogs or cats.
But yeah, I think it's a good idea to have a number, really do.
Just on
Yeah,
pets in
it's just
general?
1,000 pounds of
The
cats.
100
Well, no,
from adjacent
animals.
property lines.
Pets,
Kind of
yeah.
gets rid of everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's just a building though.
You gotta have a building if you're gonna have horses or cattle. That's 100 feet within, or from adjacent property lines
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
that
Cold
should,
Springs, so.
that should
I mean,
knock a lot of people out.
That would deter.
I think that's good to put in there, the numbers that they have.
And in the city, I mean, we should put a number on what you can have as far as,
Well, it says 1,000
Pets.
pounds, that's actually a good number. 'Cause
you know,
you gotta-
even
Yeah, but
pets,
cats are
you want a pet donkey, I mean, you have a
think
pet
that's-
donkey and you figure out how to word it in here somewhere. You know, 1, you're not gonna have 5.
Well, like you said, if you got 5 acres, then
Well, you can do it on 5 acres.
you can have 5.
I mean, in the chicken ordinance, if you have over 2 acres, you can have more than 10. If you've got 2 or less, it has to be 10. So,
In the city limits, how many people actually have more than, say, 2 much, or 5, much less, or 2 acres or much less 5 acres? In the city limits, yeah, there's not a whole lot of people that,
Who's the guy up here that just cleared all that land? Right here across from, at that intersection, 10 and 547?
He owns the house over on,
It's on Washington.
Washington, yeah.
And then he cleared all that land. He was gonna do something with it. I heard he was gonna get into some type of like a miniature show cows or something.
He has horses there, but there's always been horses there.
Yeah, there's always been,
And his driveway's on Washington.
right. And that's inside the city limit, right?
I mean, he's got the acreage to have it, but even if he doesn't, they've been there forever,
Sure.
since I've been here.
But he keeps them well taken care of and hidden, and nobody would know that they're there.
Which is fine, yeah.
I think you gotta stick to the norm, if there is such a thing as a norm, as far as what you call a pet and what you call livestock. That's tough when you start splitting hairs and your donkey Max is your pet.
Right.
Start
I think it would
walking.
make a difference if you were living in a subdivision,
Yeah.
I would think. I mean, your neighbor's like right there, so.
I mean, do you put that in the subdivision regulations then?
Probably not now, we just finished those, but we can,
We can amend them.
yeah, we can add it to it.
Not to suggest more work, but I mean, that's what we're here for, right?
What we're here for.
Or would you put them under a conditional use or conditional, like,
In the zoning or
the animals under a conditional use? You know, you want to, somebody wants to have a goat. Will they have enough room for that goat? With neighbors okay with having that goat?
Well, no, you have to disallow it, and anything that's existing before it was put out, that they had already, then that becomes a conditional use or a non-conforming use.
yeah.
So as of now, my neighbors, let's say, I have no idea, but they have 3 goats, 3 sheep. What do they got? They got sheep.
Down past you? Two
if they want-
that I know.
Isn't it?
Do what?
Isn't it right next to you? They have sheep?
It's like 3 doors down, really, or up.
And is it one sheep or?
I think it's like 3, but I don't know.
Sheep right there, I don't think that. That's bad,
Gotta be.
Bad.
bad.
Yeah. But as of now, it doesn't bother anybody until
Yeah, it don't. I'm just saying.
the overflow runs down on Riley Road. You know, maybe disallow and put it in as a conditional use.
I think you gotta look at it as a residential, format. And yeah, where you've already got it, you've already got it. After all, we're where the city meets the country.
It doesn't bother me, but it would bother me if there was like 5 people that had it. If you have 1 or 2 people that do it, that's fine, but if I had all the neighbors, then it wouldn't be a terrible idea.
Everybody just.
Well, let me ask you,
Yeah.
at 5 o'clock in the morning, when you hear the pot-bellied pigs squealing around the house, would that bother you?
It probably would.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Because they've rooted through the door, rooted through the
Exactly.
floor and gotten
They
out.
will.
And only 2 of them can make a lot of noise in the morning.
Really.
Yeah. Yes, they can. They
Well, look-
squeal.
Well, look at Newport, there's, they don't allow anything.
That's probably a good thing down there.
Yeah.
In fact, Newport was the first time I saw a domesticated pot-bellied pig,
I don't think I've ever seen one.
along with white mice, birds, and reptiles. The mice were food.
Yeah.
But that pig, that was the first time I'd seen one of those inside.
I like the 1,000 or the 100 feet from any property line.
Yeah, I agree. That
I like
kind of wipes out a lot of people.
That wipes out, yeah, that's,
That's for a building.
And the condition of it as well. You have to keep it, very well-maintained condition, the building that they're in, or in, or whatever it is.
Yes, I think Cold Springs got a good one there.
Yeah, they're covering a
They
lot.
pretty much cover it all.
Yeah. On the Cold Spring one where Randy was talking about how it says no buildings, could we make it where it specified, no buildings and/or pins? Because somebody puts up a pin, but that's not a building, that's a pin.
it's a pen. They built up a shed. It's a shed, a
Yeah,
building.
it's a shed, it's not a,
Splitting hairs.
But you're only allowed one accessory building per lot, so if they have a shed, they can't have a,
Pen or
Another barn.
or
so that might deter them a little bit.
but yet it has to be 100 feet from any adjacent.
people get tricky.
Yeah, I think Cold Springs is the best one to go with.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of covers everything.
Mm-hmm.
Good one.
Turkeys, guineas, ducks, and pigeons.
Exotic and undomesticated animals. I think that was what my buddy up in Lancaster ran into with his snakes. Very similar to that. They made him get rid of all of them.
No snakes. Mm-hmm. No snakes.
Well, they didn't know he had them until he went on vacation, and his brother was taking care of them, and they got out,
Wow. Dead snakes.
chasing them through the neighborhood. Big snakes. They were raised for their skin.
So I will talk with Mike Duncan to see if we can put the limit on pets maybe in the subdivision reg somewhere and amend that.
Yeah.
And get that ready to go. And tell him that we want to work with this ordinance from Cold Springs and see what we can come up with.
I think it's got a good good body to it. Something starts getting cold, you'll always remember some things that you want to have in it that you don't remember seeing. But no, it's a good one.
So on that one that Cold Springs has, is that where we would want to make it at least a 2-acre minimum on that?
Do we know our exposure at all? Have any kind of a guess?
No.
No. I always thought that when you were thinking about a farm, you're thinking of 3 acres and up.
Normally,
Yeah,
but anybody that's living in the city limits already probably isn't going to have that.
Yeah, how many lots do we have in the city that are over 3 acres?
yeah, that's what I was wondering, what kind of
I don't.
kind of numbers we might have.
Very
I
few.
This morning too, what did I do with that note? I don't know.
But 2 probably makes sense.
Yeah.
I can find out.
No, I mean, there can't be many. I mean,
No, there can't be many.
Except for that one on Ensweiler, somebody asked me about that 59 acres for sale down there.
Is it for
Did you
sale?
see that sign on Ensweiler, 59 acres? It says .59,
yeah.
Oh, it does say .59?
but
Yeah, as you're heading over
a couple
towards
people
the
asked me
double A,
about
they're
that
right there.
59 acres, yeah.
Where's that at?
The end of Ensweiler. But yeah, if you looked at it and didn't have an idea as what you're looking at as you went past, you'd think it said 59.
It's not that large of a place.
No. No. Anything else you want to look at here?
Does Cold Spring not have anything on the goods and merchandise on sidewalks?
They did not. The only thing they had was what I copied there.
Temporary permits?
Yeah, that was the only thing that I could find. Unless there was something else and I just didn't find it.
Okay.
And I was also waiting to get word back from Fort Thomas on theirs, but I hadn't got that by the time the day was over, so if I get it, I can forward it on to you guys.
Yeah.
No, that's a darn good sampling there. And I think you mentioned that Mike's working on the sign ordinance,
Yes.
making our language and its all meshed together, and the end product be legal. Bulletproof.
Bringing up everything that we've already decided on that we
Yeah.
gave him. So that's fine.
Anything else, new or unfinished, since they kind of run together? That we want to discuss? I think every time I go by a different sign, it cues me to think now, how do you account for that?
Yeah, Dave, I brought this up a year or so ago, a couple of years maybe. We was talking last meeting about the sidewalk sales and stuff. You know, and it's kind of hard to regulate them. When you got that gentleman up there next to Spare Time with that mess he's got up there. And I've asked about before and I've never gotten any answers. I don't know if the guy's got something, going on, what the deal is, but that's an eyesore for the biggest eyesore in the city.
But I mean, it's a garage, it's been a garage forever, and that's what garages look like, unfortunately. We have cars sitting out there, and, I mean, Scott's up there a lot when he lets it get a little bit out of control, but
Yeah.
it's a garage, it's always been a garage.
He's actually cleaned it up a bit.
He has, I mean, he's done better, he still backslide, and then Scott will stop in and remind him, and then he'll take care of it, but.
Yeah, it waxes and wanes. It'll start looking real good and you'll see it start growing again.
I mean, he's actually not in violation on anything other than, it looks like a garage. But you can't really get into what he's got sitting there that's his work, so.
Could he put about a 15-foot fence up around the whole place?
I don't think you could do that.
That would probably look worse.
I think it would look worse.
Yeah.
All right. So be it.
I mean, if there was something that we could do, we would have done it way before now, but he's really not in violation of anything.
Is there a limit to how many cars you can have there?
Not in the garage, because they're coming and going all day. That's the nature of the business.
There's cars been sitting there and ain't moved in
They are.
5 years. Yeah, okay. Oh, well.
He's actually gotten rid of a lot of his long-term dust collectors there.
Yeah, he did. We made him take out quite a few of them that had just been sitting there, so there's quite a few that's gone. But I'm sure they've been replaced with something else, but.
Sonny, there's always that one.
We get calls on that every
I
week.
suppose.
Every week we get calls on that.
Do you really?
Every week.
No doubt it.
Somebody brought up to me today, is there any news of an Aldi coming in the county market?
No, I actually talked to the lady that manages the shopping center, and she said she knows nothing about an Aldi.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but it was just brought up to me, and I told them that I would ask.
Not yet.
I was hoping to see something in Sonic.
So I can see something in both of them by now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sonic's gonna be a tough one to fill.
Mm-hmm.
Just the nature of what it is.
Rallies in there.
Yeah.
That's
Rallies would be
my
good.
favorite, yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't afford to get the franchise. But, Rally's one of my favorites.
It's not bad, it's not bad.
Starbucks wants too much warranty.
Yeah.
I've looked at all this. I know who wants what.
It's on the right side of the road for a Starbucks too.
Well, it's gotta be something different, because Starbucks wants too much of a royalty. I've looked at this.
Dunkin' Donuts.
That would be good.
That's good.
Dunkin'.
Let's do it.
Get Randy, give you something to do.
You need something to do.
I do.
Hands-on type of
Use
thing.
multifamily.
Brewing coffee and
Sleeping upstairs.
throwing donuts into the fresh grease.
Heck yeah.
I did that for years.
Anything else? New or unfinished business?
Moving on.
Moving on into internal business. The treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report.
Is correct.
The correct treasurer's report for March 19th, 2019. We have receipts on 3/12, 2019. Eaton subdivision, final plat approval for $435.00. 3/4, 2019. Arcadia Boulevard and Ridgecrest Way plat improvement approval for $4,509.00. Oops, I forgot. The beginning balance was $12,546.45. Total receipts are $4,944.00. The balance forward is $17,490.45.
Does that work? You got one?
Expenses on 3/4/2019, Ziegler and Snyder statement number 218 for $611.00. On 2/16/19, priority dispatch number 1116337 for $36.75.
Yeah.
On 2/19/2019, CT Consultants, invoice number 190283-1 for $967.00. Brings the total expenses to $1,614.75, which brings the ending balance to $15,875.70. That is your treasurer's report, sir.
Yeah, I couldn't make that 4-4 work.
It's good.
Should have been looking at it. What is your pleasure on the expenses, Ziegler and Snyder, Priority Dispatch, and CT Consultants?
Make a motion to pay the expenses.
Second?
Have a motion and a second to pay the expenses. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Chair abstains. And the treasurer's report itself for March 19th.
Make a motion to accept treasurer's report as submitted.
Second.
Motion and a second to accept the March 19th treasurer's report. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Chair abstains. Thank you very much. Anything to report from City Council? Did you get a new member officially?
Yes. Tom Baldridge.
Tom Baldridge.
Who is?
Tom Baldridge.
Any other correspondence of interest? Any other items? Yes.
Tom still on the board, or he just
As
been
far as we
missing?
know. Anybody hear anything? No.
Just curious, I haven't seen for,
He hasn't been in three meetings, so.
okay.
Thought I passed him yesterday, so I'm not sure if he's in town or not.
Just curious.
Any other items?
Hearing no other items, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second that.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies.